And now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night.
Breaking news out of Chicago. When the judge revealed Lil Durk's release date, the courtroom froze, but not for the reason you think. Behind the scenes, federal agents had just dropped a bombshell. A secret file called The End of Durk Bank's claims shocking new evidence connects Lil Durk, King Von's tragic death, and even members of his own crew turning on him. Snitches, plea deals, and federal betrayals. This case is spiraling out of control. And what the feds did next left everyone speechless. Watch closely, because this story is about to change everything you thought you knew. When the judge revealed Lil Durk's release date, the courtroom shifted instantly. Lil Durk collapsed to the floor, not from relief, but because of the storm brewing behind the scenes. Authorities had compiled a chilling new case file titled The End of Durk Banks, sparking waves of reactions across the rap world. This file reportedly contained fresh claims suggesting Lil Durk might have had some involvement in the tragic death of King Von. Adding fuel to the fire, Odavin's own father stepped forward, not only turning on his son, but dragging Lil Durk's name into the mix. Understanding his release date now requires peeling back the layers of this new and explosive evidence.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before.
The new evidence files reportedly include footage of DJ academics questioning Vonnie's father about why Lil Durk would have any reason to want King Von gone. Investigators noted that when King Von tragically lost his life, both he and Lil Durk were tied to the same court case. That case quietly ended with a private settlement, leading many to suspect that Lil Durk may have struck a discreet deal with federal authorities, shifting the weight of the crime onto King Von, whose passing ultimately caused the entire case to vanish.
Why would Durk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that. Which was
Come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender.
Soon after, a tweet exploded online saying, "Of's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with is making me question why Durk always hops on IG Live whenever someone close to him passes." He did it after King Von, Labub, and FBG Duck, all gone, and now people think Durk uses those lives as a real-time alibi. But the real twist came from the Fed's new file. They claimed Vonnie's father was furious that his own son had turned federal. Another post surfaced reading, O.T. Vannie's father says Vonnie allegedly orchestrated the death of Lab and King Von.
No, he ain't take my rights. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they plan. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Bonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to, and this, that, and that. And with me saying Vaughn, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Vaughn?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm free to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Vaughn. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil you orchestrated this, and guess who you were?
Vonnie's father came from a street code where, if someone snitches on you, you snitch right back. He had no hesitation. Soon after, drama erupted when Lil Durk's own sister-in-law called King Von's cousin, OTF Vonnie, a rat in the murder-for-hire federal case. That meant even King Von's sister was confirming the same accusations Vonnie's father had made. But things got even deeper at the latest court hearing. It was revealed that Vonnie was no longer in federal prison custody. He had likely been released on house arrest after giving information about Lil Durk. Vonnie then got hold of a phone and messaged someone he thought was still loyal. That person ended up leaking everything. In the messages, Vonnie admitted he was trying to work out a plea deal on a charge carrying a maximum of life in prison. He explained that with plea points taken off for cooperation and no criminal background, his sentence could drop to only 5 to 7 years. He even said he was afraid of getting the same fate as Jam, another guy who paid the price for staying quiet. This led to headlines reporting that Lil Durk's trial might be pushed to January 2026 because multiple co-defendants were now making plea deals to get lighter sentences. But the real turning point came when new body cam footage surfaced of Lil Ted, Dee Dee's younger brother and one of Durk's closest people. The footage showed Ted breaking down after being arrested at a convenience store with a gun. Before even entering the station, he begged officers through tears, promising to tell them everything about past crimes if they would keep him out of jail. Inside the holding cell, Ted could be heard pleading repeatedly, desperate to make a deal. Since he was Dee Dee's brother, many assumed Dee Dee himself was the one snitching when paperwork revealed someone in the family was cooperating. But in reality, it was Ted, his younger brother, willing to give up everything to save himself. With both Dee's brother and Vonnie agreeing to cooperate in their cases, many believe it was their families who pushed them toward that decision. Sources say their mothers and relatives sat them down, urging them not to throw their lives away. Police often use this strategy when multiple family members are tied to the same case, knowing emotional pressure can break even the toughest defendants. While they worked out plea deals to reduce their sentences, the situation surrounding Lil Durk grew more alarming. News reports surfaced saying Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside the jail this morning. Shortly after, Lil Baby jumped online, posting, "I do not care about anything else right now except Durk. Free the bro." As the streets connected the dots, another tweet revealed that Durk's day one homie, Glee, had been killed in Chicago the night before. Multiple crew members being targeted on the same day raised a serious question. Who was looking for revenge? Fans then noticed something strange. That very day, both Quando Rondo and Lil Tim gave separate interviews, but their message was identical. Even more suspicious, they were released on the same day. Some people brushed it off as a coincidence, but others believed it might have been a strategic move to keep the feds from digging deeper into possible connections with hits on rival members.
Oh, like shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying fuck him and shit like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
In his interview, Quando Rondo echoed the same sentiment as Lil Tim, saying he wished the entire situation had been handled differently. His words mirrored what Lil Tim had said earlier, making people wonder if both interviews were carefully planned to send the same message rather than two separate reactions.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. that could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever like that. It could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Two rival members doing interviews on the same day, both praising Lil Durk and saying they wished things had gone differently, while Durk's people were being attacked and he himself was targeted inside jail, did not sit right with fans. To many, it felt far from a coincidence, but this is where things took an even more interesting turn. Reddit users began speculating that Lil Durk was targeted because he was on the verge of release. News outlets reported, according to Durk's father, the rapper was set to be released on bond. This was Durk's third attempt at securing his freedom, and sources revealed his legal team had presented the judge with an offer so strong it was almost impossible to deny.
Left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for it, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Prosecutors made a shocking move in court that completely changed the direction of Lil Durk's case. During the hearing, they openly told the judge they were throwing out key evidence against him, reading it out loud in front of everyone present. Reporters wrote, at today's hearing, prosecutors willingly discarded evidence against Lil Durk while presenting it in open court. The question now is how this decision might impact the rest of his bond hearing. As the judge appeared to be weighing the possibility of granting Durk a bond release, prosecutors stood again and announced they were dropping even more evidence, this time connected to Durk's lyrics. They referenced lines like, told me they got an Addy, got location, go look on the news, see your son screaming no, before showing the court a news clip of Quando Rondo screaming no, linking the lyrics to real-life events.
The search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
While prosecutors dropping the evidence was a major win for Lil Durk, what stunned everyone was how they did it. They broadcasted it to the entire courtroom, judge, reporters, and onlookers included, right on the day the bond decision was being made. The dramatic way it unfolded grabbed everyone's attention, even sparking a reaction from Charleston White, who had plenty to say about the move.
This is a real victory. Now that demonic force was a dark force. It was a dark energy. I think we now finally get to put that fire out. I don't think we'll hear drill music ever again. I don't think drill rappers would ever be celebrated ever again. Down goes the drill. So this is a victory for law-abiding Americans who like hip-hop music but don't like the killing part of it.
While Charleston White made it clear he hated the thought of Lil Durk being released, Durk's lawyer, Drew Finling, revealed the rapper's potential release date while exposing how prosecutors were destroying their own case. One major allegation had collapsed entirely. Prosecutors initially claimed Durk paid a bounty through one of his co-defendants, and they even named the man. But now, they had quietly backed away from that accusation. The shift was telling. It suggested prosecutors once believed they could prove Durk funded the hit through his co-defendant, but after reviewing the evidence, they realized they could not. With that claim off the table and Durk's lyrics no longer being used as evidence, the case was clearly falling apart. Drew Finling even called the charges a joke, arguing that prosecutors were left with little more than song lyrics and speculation. The timeline revealed more cracks in the case. The original indictment never named Durk at all. 3 weeks later, a superseding indictment surfaced that was identical except for one change. The unnamed person was now identified as Durk Banks. The only new piece of evidence? A claim that one of his music videos celebrated and monetized the alleged crime. But when the judge finally made his decision days later, things took a dark turn for Durk. As he walked into court, reporters wrote, The feds argue Lil Durk must give up all his assets to even be considered for bond because they fear he could use his wealth to put bounties on witnesses. Ultimately, the judge denied him bond altogether. Under federal law, murder-for-hire charges carry a presumption against bond because of the severity of the crime and potential life sentence. For Durk's lawyers to win, they needed to prove he would not be a danger or flight risk. Prosecutors countered by pointing out millions were being offered for bond, but much of it came from Durk's label, not his own money, and Durk still had far more assets hidden away. If he fled or retaliated against witnesses, they argued, he would have the resources to do it. A viral tweet soon followed, reading, "If you think Durk was denied bond because he's rich, you know nothing about the case." Day's brother literally just snitched on the feds, and instead of making it public, prosecutors are holding back the info to catch Durk's lawyers off guard. They fear that if Durk gets released, he will target witnesses and enemies before trial. In the trial, it seemed Jam's fate was already sealed. Reports surfaced asking, has anyone heard from Jam since he snitched on Durk? Several F members are gone, but low-key, he has been missing for months. Jam, known as OTF Jam, was outed on DJ Vlad's show for cooperating with the police. Ironically, his nickname, Jam, turned out to be a perfect fit because he put everyone in one. He had been facing 12 years behind bars, but somehow got out early. Afterward, he claimed he had kept it real, even bragging about getting $50,000 and support from the crew. He insisted there was no smut on his name, but that changed quickly when he secretly flipped on the team. Once the headlines hit, news outlets reported OTF Jam was tracked down by F members at a house outside Atlanta. Sources said he paid the price for snitching on Lil Durk after supplying authorities with over 230 gigabytes of evidence, including audio, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports. He was even seen on IG Live wearing a wire, whispering into his jacket. Durk, however, saw it coming. Months before the arrests, he had already sensed Jam was acting strange. "I can talk to someone for 5 seconds and know if they are going to cooperate," Durk explained later. He revealed that Jam's betrayal changed everything for him. He no longer lets friends visit his home or even know where he lives. "Nobody comes to my house," Durk said. "Not even my best friend. I do not play with my family or my kids' safety. I keep people at a distance because you never know who is plotting." What makes the story even sadder is that Jam was the same man Durk once gifted $50,000 to on Instagram Live. In the video, Durk was celebrating success while people around him seemed emotional, some crying, some hating, some sneak dissing online later. It showed just how quickly loyalty in the streets can vanish once pressure from the law sets in. Quando Rondo's interview would echo the same regret, saying he wished things had gone differently. But the real turning point came when prosecutors suddenly dropped key evidence against Lil Durk, sending shockwaves through the courtroom as reporters wrote. Today, in Lil Durk's court hearing, prosecutors told the judge they were willingly throwing away evidence against him, reading it out loud in front of everyone. The question now, how will this affect Durk's bond decision? What made it wild was not just the fact they dropped the evidence, it was the way they did it. Right in the middle of the hearing, as the judge considered giving Durk a bond release, prosecutors stood up and read out Durk's own lyrics, "Told me they got an addy. Go/got location. Go look on the news. See your son screaming, no." Even playing a video of Quando Rondo shouting no after a tragic incident, linking the lyrics to real-life events before dropping the charges tied to them, leaving the whole courtroom stunned and even catching Charleston White's attention, sparking one of his infamous rants online. Meanwhile, on Instagram Live, someone known as B12 hopped on after doing 12 years in prison, and in the background of the stream, the feds recognized familiar faces, the same guys seen jewelry shopping with King Von before, now tied to the passing of Lil PAB, making it clear the circle was tight and the investigation was getting deeper. Even with all this drama, Durk still had one last shot at freedom when DJ Academics asked Durk's lawyer, Drew, if he would even consider a plea deal, but Drew shut it down instantly, saying, "No, we're going all the way. This is a conspiracy to commit case. It's all or nothing. A life sentence is on the table, so this is going to 12 jurors. No plea." Durk's team had been saving their biggest argument for court, explaining that his music and social media posts were protected under the First Amendment, with Drew saying, just because he raps about it does not mean he did it. Country, rock, pop, even R&B songs talk about the same things, but nobody prosecutes them. This is free speech. He has the right to tell his story, turning the case into a major test of whether rap lyrics could be used in court at all.